Living in a daydream. Ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. I am wired on caffeine right now. I haven't slept very well in a few days, but we are here back in the kitchen on a podcast. First time ever doing this without my business partner, Nate Tian, who is traveling across the world to Italy with Will Sarmiento at the moment. But yeah, we are going to keep our podcast streak alive and just run it solo today. So thank you all for listening, for being here. I will do my best to entertain you solo. I was texting Nate right before I did this, and he's like, "You probably have no problem with this," because I just tend to rant. So this could possibly be our longest episode ever, and I'm pretty excited about it. I also hope and pray to God that the audio sounds okay, because I didn't do any audio checks. So we're just gonna go with it, you guys. And if it doesn't work, we'll trash this whole episode. But a lot is going on. I haven't been on the podcast a few weeks. Some big life changes have happened with me. Biggest thing, I am now part of the Cool Dads Club. Wearing the hoodie right now, the Cool Dads Club. Yes, I just had my beautiful baby girl. She was born on June 10th, 6 pounds, 6 ounces, and her name is Amelia James. And it has been, since today, it's been about 9 days since we've had her. And Kenzie's doing well, baby's doing well, I'm doing well, just on cloud nine. And here's what I hate, you guys. I hate that all the cliches were true. I hate saying cliches. I've always hated saying cliches. I hate being a part of the cliche club, but all the cliches have been true. You can't describe it. There's nothing like it, and it is the most insane experience I've ever gone through. And I've never been happier. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. Today, what we're going to be doing actually in the episode, since I'm wired and just on caffeine and wanting to give you my 110%, I can't even speak, my 110%, we're going to do a Q&A with Jake. So I put up my story last night, Ask Me Anything, and I'm going to go through my Instagram responses and answer every single question. Maybe cut out some redundant ones or some personal ones, and I'll leave the rest to my editor's discretion. But we're going to do a Q&A with me, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a little life update on what's been going on. So yeah, let's get started. All right. Sorry, I'm not used to having no back and forth banter. So I need to, also, you guys can tell, I just crawl out of bed. I got the bed head going. We're just cozy today in the office. All right. So bear with me. You know how it is being a dad and all. If you don't, you'll see, or won't. Maybe you're a woman or don't want to be a dad. All right, foot in my mouth once again. All right, first question from Dan Lunam. Also, I'm going to butcher every single one of these Instagram handles. How's dad life going? And actually, this is actually a question I'm seeing a lot in my Q&A, so let's talk about it. For those who don't have kids, again, another cliche is I'm acting like I've had kids forever, but you really, I'll say this, this last 9 days, dad life is going great. To just sum it up, it's unlike anything I've ever done. It's amazing. I've always wanted to be a dad since I was a little kid. The goal was always to be a dad, to have kids. I love my dad. He's my hero. He's my example. And because of my parents, I've always just wanted to do that same thing to other people and to have my own kids. And Kenzie and I, we've been married for 7 years, and we're very patient and decided when was the right time to have kids. So all that building up to this moment this last week of seeing my baby girl for the first time, and it's been going great. Nothing else seems to matter right now. The only thing that matters is our perfect little girl. Everything else just seems so superfluous and so just pointless compared to being a father. And everything I'm doing, I just want to be with her, even just right now. Just for an hour, I'm gonna be doing this, and I'm already thinking about, I can't wait to see her again. and change her diapers and everything. And so it's been amazing. I'll talk more about it as my thoughts progress, but essentially, you're not prepared, right? Like, I'll summarize it like this. We were so stressed about being first time parents, right? Never done this before, never cared for a baby before. Like, I had younger siblings and I would change their diapers and feed them and babysit them, but like having your own 24/7, no one prepares you for that. You have no idea what that's going to be like. And so we were nervous. Okay, how do we do this? How do we do this? Well, I know how to do this. How do we take care of this? But the second she was born, my wife and I both, you just put yourself aside because you realize it's no longer about you, and our daughter doesn't care what we don't know because she's brand new at life, right? Like, she's taking her first breath, and so she's a little patient with us as we learn how to swaddle her or change her diaper or stay up late or learn how to feed her. Like, all those things all the things we were stressing about just went away because we saw how perfect she was and how she would be patient as we learned because she's learning how to breathe, literally. So all the stresses of like parenting went away this last week, and you feel like in the first 48 hours, like a masterclass on parenting and raising a baby, and all the things you thought you couldn't do, you're all of a sudden doing it every single moment of every single day, and it's just been amazing. It's been amazing. And Nate has let me take off the last 9 days and probably the next month or so. Um, and yeah, I've been loving being a dad. I love being a dad so far. No, I always will. So yeah, dad life is going super good. Thanks for asking. I really appreciate that. All right, next question is from Keyboard King. Is Keyboard King a better Smash player than you? Absolutely not. I think Keyboard King, alias Joseph Garcia, if you want to spread some love/hate to him, I don't think he's beaten me yet in Smash Brothers. I think I've only been beaten by one Instagram follower, and his Lucina Clapmine. But Keyboard King, he plays Cloud, which we all know is a very mid character, and hasn't beat me yet. If you guys want to add me, maybe we'll do like a day where we'll jump on an arena and we all do 1v1s. It'd be fun. But no, definitely not a better Smash player than me. Maybe if you play your main and I play like my 86th best character, then you can beat me. Ariola Films Noir says, what's one of your favorite interview shots? I think it has to be my most recent interview we did with Whitney and John, the love story. We did the whole YouTube video about it. I think that to me was one of my favorite interview shots. It just felt very Netflix. We dialed in all of our settings. It looked really good. Couple looked awesome. So I think that's probably one of my favorite interview shots. Where do you find, okay, so from Barry J. Briggs, where do you find wedding clients? Tips when starting in wedding video industry. So the goal, right? Here's the best case scenario. You don't find the clients find you. You create content, get your content out there, get it seen by the right people, and it attracts clients, right? That way you're not doing, door to door, asking brides to film their wedding with no portfolio. The best way is to post content consistently and get brides to see you, right? Content is king, distribution is queen. So if you have no portfolio, your only job is to get friends, hire models, which you could hire some really attractive models off of these talent agencies for a couple $100 for an afternoon, right? And just film them in a bridal dress and a suit, running through a field, showing potential clients what you can do with a couple. So the biggest thing I think is just getting a portfolio, getting content, and then pushing that content on Instagram through social channels to get brides to find you, running ads, whatever it may be, or with a decent portfolio, building connections with vendors, right? Networking with wedding planners, photographers, venues, offering value to their businesses that they want to refer their clients to you. Not in a pushy, salesy way like, hey, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, but more in how can I add value to this vendor so that they want me to be at their weddings, not feel like an obligation to force me. I would say that answers both questions, how to get started and how to find clients. Who's your inspiration and why? Great question. So I get asked this a lot. It's always evolving, always changing. I feel like kind of depending on the vibe I'm in, like if I'm in a business kick or a cinematography kick or a networking relationship kick, it always differs. My hero is my dad. My hero, who I want to be like, who has taught me the most, who's inspired me the most, who makes me want to be the best man I possibly can be, is my dad. Kirk, hands down, just the absolute goat of a father and a man. But as for inspirations in this industry, off the top of my head, there's the big three. I'll say the big three, and first it has to be Lindsay Conklin from LaRev. From a networking perspective, I mean, and Cherish, Lindsay and Cherish as a team, they're just being around them. The few times I've had the pleasure of doing so, they have taught me so much about relationships, networking, and just business ethics, and making sure you go above and beyond to please your clients. I always think about Chick-fil-A with them, just the my pleasure attitude, right? Everything is my pleasure. I don't know if they say my pleasure, but that's the attitude they have to every single person on the vendor team and the client is it's their pleasure to be there. So they're number one. Number two has to be Aaron Tharp from 31 Films, Film Lab, whatever. Just one of the most insanely talented cinematographers and businessmen out there. Absolutely look up to and love Aaron Tharp. And third right now, it's JMac. For so many reasons. On a friendship level, some of the best friends I have, people who continually push me to be creative, and people who every time I watch them, I can see their genuine, or I guess their authenticity just glaring through their films. So as a wedding filmmaker, they're somebody I want to be like. I don't want to copy their style, I'm saying. Please understand what I'm saying. I want to be like them as human beings. They're amazing people. So those are probably my big three right now. And countless others, right? Like countless others. Emma Kay is one of my biggest inspirations as well. Jason McCutcheon, one of my biggest inspirations. Adam Grumbo, one of my favorite human beings. Nate Tehan, a huge inspiration in my life as well. Parker Walbeck. I have so many. I'm blessed to be in so many circles of people who inspire me. So it's a hard question. Sorry, I gotta get through these a little bit quicker. What do you think is the future of videography, especially weddings with AI? I don't think it's going to change. Here's my thing, right? In the early 1900s, motion pictures came out. Then sound came out, and all the silent picture houses were so threatened and afraid of sound. And there's this huge revolution, right? This huge, thing. People adapted or died. Then color came to film, and all these black and white TV makers were like, "Oh, you're gonna kill the economy here, put it outside of business, black and white, whatever." But the ones who adapted survived and moved on. All the people who complained are now dead and gone, right? After that, we had green screening come into play. Guess who got mad at green screening? Set designers. Felt like their jobs were at stake. But look what happened. We evolved, moved on. And then most recently, I feel like it was LED walls. And all the green screen people started complaining about losing their jobs to LED walls. But look what we still have. We still have green screen, LED walls, and set designers. And so in my opinion, that's a long story just to say, I think there's really two approaches to any advancement. You could be the one who sits there and complains, or be the one who rocks out to it and learns how to adapt it to his business. Another example would be, I remember when Photoshop introduced generative fill AI, and there's that video of all those Photoshoppers or photo editors who are like watching it and just like having panic attacks, like, oh my gosh, my job is now done, right? Done for. But then the people who saw it as like, oh, how can I use this to make my photography better? Those ones are the ones who survived, right? And so if you're a videographer who thinks that AI, all of a sudden, small advancements in technology threaten your ability to do your job, then maybe you shouldn't be doing this in the first place. Maybe you weren't strong enough or cut out for this anyway. You should be looking, I think Charlie Hilbrand's a good example, looking at ways to use AI to further your business. I love it. So far, the only AI we use on our films is to create thumbnails or help us create better thumbnails, and fix our audio. So, and all those things I love so far. So, everything else, the AI video wise, I'm not impressed with yet. So we'll see. What were some of the challenges you faced starting out in weddings? Couple things. My confidence was way too high at the beginning. I thought I knew it all because I had a few great months of success. And I thought that because I could film my local weddings, that I was ready for the big leagues. And there's that graph, like when your confidence is at its peak, the newer you are at something, then you're humbled pretty quick. That was one thing. Another thing is like, don't read the comment section. We give so much power to people in the comments, and most of the time, people in the comments are just nobodies. And I gave a lot of my attention to people in the comments, and those people are nobodies, right? Yeah, nobodies. Other challenges. I think the biggest challenge I didn't face that everyone else faces was finding clients. I was so lucky that all my friends were getting married the year I decided to get into videography. All of them. Like I shot every wedding in my first year was like a friend's wedding. And I shot so many. So I think the biggest challenge was just getting the money to buy the gear, and upgrading gear. And yeah, I don't know. And adapting like kind of your lifestyle, your day-to-day routine. How much did you charge for your first wedding? $300. Got paid 300 bones. And they paid for my flight. It was to Arizona, so they probably spent, close to $600 on me, but I got $300 cash, which I spent $200 of that to rent a camera. So yeah, not very much. English or Spanish? Habla español. I know 3 phrases. Necesito ir al baño. Tengo mucho hambre. And dame un beso porque te amo. Tanner Halsey asks, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to read this. I got some vile comments from some of the bros wanting me to do unspeakable things to them in this Q&A. Franny, 1730, asks, when are we having our Smash battle? Literally, just add me. I'll put my Switch code on the screen, and anyone who wants to can add me as a friend, and we can run it back on Smash Bros. Arnold Mountains asked, anything? And I said, yes, anything. All right, Nick Carter, thoughts on using the ZVE1 as the main cam for wedding videos? Yes, we just bought 2 ZVE1s. There are C and D cameras, but they'd act great as a main camera. They're full frame. That's the reason we went with the ZVE1 over the FX30 as a C and D cam was solely because it shot full frame. And we wanted the full frame bokeh. So yeah, I think it's a great option. People all warned us about the overheating, but we had it as a ceremony camera running 4K 24 FPS during a ceremony for 30 minutes at the hottest time of day, and she did fine. So I think it's an excellent camera to use as the main camera. I'm 16 years old. This is from Joel.Alice. I'm 16 years old, filming for multiple businesses. How do I earn clients? How do I know if I'm overcharging? You're overcharging if nobody ever tells you no. Oh, sorry. I have that backwards. You know if you're undercharging if nobody ever tells you no. If you're overcharging, it's because you never get a yes, right? And there are 3 things I always look for when determining my prices. I'm going to get these butchered now, but my experience, my quality, and my clientele, right? Basically those 3, I think. So if you're overcharging, you'll get a lot of no's. And you have to compare your work to your price tag. So look at other videographers in your area and think, okay, is my work better or worse than theirs? And if it's worse, my prices should be lower, right? Or you just got to offer more value, right? Give them more edits, do something else, do more. As for earning the clients, you just got to have a portfolio, create spec ads, create content, get that content seen by the right people, pitch your content to other people. Jump on any opportunity you can. Might have to work for free a few times, but the hope is that it pays for it later. Courtney J. Photo, the legend, asks, your favorite location you've shot at? Arkansas. Hands down, Bentonville, Arkansas. It's not even close. Bentonville, Arkansas. Close second, Lake Como, Italy. But a close second. Courtney J. Photo also asks, favorite photographer? I don't know. Don't really have one. Just kidding. Jared Mofat20 asks, what has being English, Jared? What has being the best part about owning your own photography business? Translation, what has been the best part about owning my own videography business? The simple answer, twofold. Make my own schedule and having no price cap. My favorite things about doing this job is I can decide when I want to work and for how long. I can decide on a moment's notice if I want to take my wife out on a Wednesday for a day trip, right? Or if I want to work an extended weekend or not work, or if I want to wake up at 10 o'clock at night and work a little bit. I love having the flexibility to choose my own schedule and telling clients, nope, I'm not working today for whatever reason, and not having to report to any boss and say, I can't come in today. So that's number one. Number two, being able to not have a price cap, being told like, here's your salary. So no matter what you do, this is how much you're going to earn this year. Work as hard as you can, but no matter what you do, this is the ceiling that we're going to pay you. I love having that removed and just being able to make as much money as the work my output reflects, right? So I get to work. However much I work, I earn. And the harder I work, the more money I make. The less I work, the less I make. I love that. So that's been the best part. What's your thoughts on the DJI Pocket 2 and 3? No idea, sadly. I really stopped following a lot of gear once I decided just to be a wedding videographer. If it's a tool I need in my kit, I'll probably look into it, but I don't. So Chinmay01 asks, I starting photography and videography, which camera company I prefer, Sony or Canon? It doesn't matter. It's 2024. You can get a Sony, a Panasonic, a Nikon, or a Canon, or a Red, or a Z-Cam, and it truly won't matter. In fact, I just saw a video, or an iPhone. I just saw a video shot on the brand new GoPros. Better than a lot of people who shoot on DSLRs. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what camera you shoot on. Alexis Kirsten asks, how is your wife doing post-baby? She's doing so good. Killing it. Natural mom. It's been so, my favorite part, I told her this before Amelia came, is that because we're like, what are you the most looking forward to? And she was saying, like, I just can't wait for that toddler, or the infant phase, just cuddles and the newborn smell. And my favorite, what I was looking forward to the most and what I've been enjoying the most is just watching Kenzie be a mom. That's my favorite part about this whole experience so far. Just watching my beautiful wife be a mom to our beautiful daughter. I could stare at that. I could stare at her all day, just doing it, just breastfeeding, holding our girl. I could seriously just watch them all day. It's my favorite thing in the world. Dallin Hodgkin, how can I work for you? Add value. Figure out what we need and fill that void in our business, and we will hire you, guaranteed. Morgan Kale asks, be honest, how often are you texting the boys? All the time. I do think I get ghosted the most, second to Dallin maybe, but all the time. All the time the chat is lit. A diamond.media, C400, wish you would have stayed with Canon? Honestly, no. I watched that presentation, thought it was cool, didn't really care for anything. Didn't think that anything would really drastically improve my workflow. I still think Canon's slowing down a little bit, but still very impressive camera. But no, I have zero regrets so far. Downside of running runway vows versus building your own brand. No downside, only upsides. The only downside I could possibly think of is that like Jake Weisler Films had such momentum, and then we kind of had to reset with Runaway Vows with like a whole new following and channel and everything. But just these last like few weeks, we've had our YouTube channel go from 0 to 15,000 subscribers, and the momentum is picking up super well. So Yeah, no downsides. One of the upsides, actually, excuse me, I was just talking about this in the Facebook page, to having Run My Vows versus Jake Weisler Films is that with Jake Weisler Films, and really any of you people who have a company that is your name, so and so media, whatever, the biggest downside is that you have to physically be at every single thing because it's your name on your company. And so if Jake Weisler Films, if Jake Weisler doesn't show up to a wedding, it's a problem. Versus Runway Vows, we can have any of our team members show up, right? And I'm not contractually obligated to be in person at every single event we film. So we can do 3-4 weddings a weekend. And that's how we scale. And that's been the best part so far the last few years. So only upsides, man. Seth Robertson, what are the chances you help me shoot my first wedding? Pretty high. I do charge a premium. So just let me know if it's in your budget, and I am there. Ashlyn Weisler asks, how are you so great? And this picture is 500 plus aura. Ash, couple things that come to mind to be so great. You got to have an awesome little sister, and you have to ignore her texts, leave her on red, and really only ask about her boyfriend and nothing really else about her personal life. And that's all you have to do. Oh, and then you have to make sure that you have to invite her to come see you, because I guess if you don't, she'll never take the initiative to come see you, which is the principle we were raised on, to take the initiative, but it's fine. How did you start growing your Instagram account? Simple, just post. People overcomplicate growing Instagram or growing a following, okay? Back to our YouTube channel. We had 0 subscribers. Posted rarely, right? Rarely posted. And then for literally the last 2 months, we decided to post weekly, and we've gained 15,000 subscribers. You have to create quality content consistently. That's the only secret to growing Instagram. There's no programs, there's no method, there's no what time to post or how often to post. It could be a daily, a weekly, twice a week. It could be whatever you want it to be, but it needs to just be consistent. And you got to do it consistently for a long time. Rafal Kwok. What work do you delegate? Do you have editors or virtual assistants to pass tasks off to? Yes. I do a lot of delegating. For example, when I'm finished with this podcast, I'm going to send it off to our editor, Tanner. Tanner's going to take the audio, the video, sync it, color it, edit it, upload to YouTube, to Spotify, create thumbnails for it, create podcast clips, put them on TikTok, on Instagram, update our bio links, put everything in the description. Like, he'll literally just do all that. I just hand this off to him. Same with our wedding films. Most of our wedding films we'll outsource to companies and go back and forth on revisions and make sure they edit it properly. We outsource all of our course edits to our employee, Nate Athy, who's been editing every single course we've done, our trailers, does it all. I want to do a lot more outsourcing, actually. We also outsource our ads and our sales and our funnel, like all that stuff we outsource. All the low value activities that anyone could do. And the principle of leadership, if you only do the things that anyone can do, you'll never do the things that only you can do. So if I stress all day, every day, telling myself I'm the only one who can edit, well, all of a sudden now I'm working 2 jobs. I'm running a business, I'm shooting, I'm managing a team, and I'm all of a sudden a full-time editor. Versus if I know for a fact there are people who only edit out there who can do it better than me, find them, hire them, let them do that under my direction so that I can focus on doing high-value things and building my business. The goal is to delegate as much as possible. Noah Engler Media, which platform would you recommend? Artlist or Epidemic Sound? Artlist, probably, of those two, but my personal favorite is MusicBed, by far. Like, it's not even close. Ellie Garcia 12, I have an 80D. Should I buy RS4 Pro, thinking in the future, or RS4, thinking in the present? There's really no such thing as the future. Not so stupidly deep for no reason. I would just get what you want now, right? Whatever meets your needs now. Because you got to think about it this way. Next year, there'll be a new RS5 or an RS4 Pro Plus. So it's just like whatever you buy, you're going to enjoy it for the year. And if you're like, oh, do I want this for the long term? It's like, yeah, but then next year, the RS5 Pro will come out and you'll be like, oh, I want that one, right? So it's just like, just get whatever you want right now. And you're going to upgrade regardless. So EP focused media. How do you get around brain fog? I just take a break. I think I'm always just too close to things. If I get brain fog, I'm too attached to it. I'm tunnel visioned. So I'll just kind of take a step back, go do something, go outside, go to the gym, drink more water. Speaking of which, just get refreshed. But also like, don't let brain fog I don't know. I think I've met some guys who use brain fog as an excuse daily to like just not work. And then weeks go by on a project that should have taken a day. And it's just like, well, maybe you're giving brain fog a little bit too much power. I won't get into that, but you know what I mean. Creatine, trying to get swole. Daddy's swole summer. All right. Ben.S. Is the punch at the end an FTF trademark? In your last vid, you were tempted to in the outro. No, it's just Parker's thing, so I just didn't want to steal it. Do you have any experience this is from Evolve. Do you have any experience opening businesses like Parker did with the golf loft? Not at that scale. I really just kind of focused on wedding videography. ME Films _ asked, was becoming a father like you expected it to be so far? Big congrats, the best thing in life. Thank you. No, it's 10 times better. It's more than I could have possibly imagined it to be. This last week has just been wild. I'm so tired. My head hurts. Not as much as my wife's because she sleeps way less than I do. But it's every time I see my girl, I'm like, how, how are you real? I don't get it. It's the miracle of life and it's beautiful. And I'm so grateful, that she's here and everything went so smoothly, you guys. It all just went so well. Thank you for asking. Jay Joshua, it's like Joshua, but with, dyslexia. What Canon video camera do you recommend and why? I really don't know nowadays. I still think the C70 is one of the best cameras ever. I would probably choose the C70 or the new C400. But I love the C70 or the 5D Mark II. Like really you can't go wrong right now in 2024 with a camera. Any camera you get, they've all competed long enough to have the same things. Sony, it's Brock Childers asks, Sony FX6, beautiful. Absolutely love it. Everything I see on it, I think is just gold. Fran Morijo, 07. How expose in shadows with S-Log 2 and Sony a7 III? You mean expose? I don't know. It used to be you had to overexpose. I don't know now, but you're never exposing for shadows. The principle of exposure is you always expose the brightest part of your image, and your histogram should always be in the middle. That's the principle. So it doesn't really matter if you're in shadows or daylight. That's the principle. Restless Big Horror, the best optical triangle for news photography. I don't understand a single thing in that question. I am so sorry. One Photo Films, Come le haces para ser tú? I don't know what that means. Simo Stowe, why haven't you taken over FTF together with Landon Brew? Landon Brew didn't invite me to take over FTF. Now, Landon, by the way, also didn't invite me to take over. Robert M. Photography, with a few days to enjoy being a dad, favorite part so far? Like I said, watching my wife be a mom. Hands down. Like there's nothing comes close in watching my favorite person in the world hold my new favorite person in the world. It's just the best. Vochistek Photography, price of a wedding video. Our prices really range from like $6,000 to $20,000. It just depends. John Nicoli, How do you deal with nagging clients? You got to set a lot of expectations at the beginning of a relationship with people. Let them know you're a professional, you'll handle it, and they can check off finding a videographer off their list once they book with you. But clients they'll always be naggy people. Be professional. You're serving them. They're paying you. It's not some art project where you get to express yourself. This is a client hiring you to create a product for them, which means it's their product, even though you own it anyway. So just be patient. The my pleasure attitude. Jefferson Castillo. What are your top tips for a solo shooter? We have a video about this. I did a whole wedding solo. The biggest tip I have is to be versatile, right? Put on a zoom lens, get tons of variety, shoot everything, overshoot, shoot the same thing 3 times, wide, medium, and tight, overkill it, and make sure you focus on the hero shots before you try to be a creative artsy filmmaker. And Bui.mp4. How to train to have a deep voice like you. Yeah, so I get this question. Do I turn on my dreamy voice or not? Kenzie, my wife, was laughing about that TikTok about me talking to our groom, Tyler. I don't know why I do it. I think it's my dad, but I don't know why I do it. I just turn on that voice in certain situations where, like, here's my natural voice. I'm just talking to you, have a conversation. But like, we're in like a business setting, and I'm trying to like really make sure you feel comfortable with your wife, and there's a big moment that's about to happen. And when you turn around and you see her, look at her, stare her in the eyes, and say, baby, I want you. And I promise you, she will want you back. But make sure, for the love of God, you do something with your hands. Put them to your face, grab her, something. Don't just stand there like a stupid mannequin. I don't know. The voice literally just turns on. That kind of gave myself the ick. I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration. I don't know. I don't know why my voice does that, but it just I don't try to. I just naturally start. All right, in the next few moments we're gonna have this moment. I don't know why I do it. I just do it. I'm sorry. Allah Charor. Hey Jack, I have an idea if you're interested in. Yo, who do you think you are to call me Jack and then to bait me with a question that will make me DM you so you can pitch me some mediocre business idea that will probably scam me out of my money? Who the do you think you are? How about you just smash the unfollow button, buddy? Barra Films. What's your take on contracts with clients? You should have one. Is it possible to get a template? You should buy one. We buy our contract templates from the Legal Page, Paige. She's a professional lawyer who sells contracts for videographers and photographers. They have saved our butts. They're like $500, but in my opinion, I'd rather spend $500 once on a good professional binding contract than to possibly face a lawsuit in small claims court. So the Legal Page with the I. What is your favorite platform for music for weddings? From Shotsby Julian. Music Bed, without question. Larshiek Media, new 24-70 Sigma DNDG Art 2 versus 24-70 Master. My brother-in-law actually just bought that new Sigma, and it's beautiful. It's much smaller than Sigma's usual lineup, which I love. But we also have the G Master, and I think if you're a pixel peeper and if you're super into autofocus tech and speed, like, you can maybe tell the difference. But for the most part, 99% of you probably should get the Sigma one. It's just as good and way cheaper. What is your from Rajesh Thakur? What is your scary part on wedding day? Honestly, it's meeting the photographer. Because most of the time I have a great experience and I love the photographers. But it's always that moment of like, what's the vibe, you know? What's the vibe? And yeah, it's been interesting. Julian Phillip, I do not have much money, but an R5 with an RF 24-70. Sounds like you're doing pretty well. What would you recommend me to do? People here in Germany pay significantly more photos than videos. Nevertheless, the latter is my passion. I don't know what your question is. You have a great camera. Go use it. Go create a portfolio. Period. Skyforge photo video. What are your favorite 3 prompts for great poses, and have they changed since the FTF days? Not really. I like to kind of curate moments. Hold her hand, walk towards her, give her a spin, grab her face, pull her in close, get close but don't kiss, smile, give her a few kisses, whisper in her ear, say something naughty, make her laugh. Tell the brides to keep their back arched, keep those curves popping. Say yes, queen, a lot. Been saying yes, king more recently because equality and all that. So yeah. Laurent D'Souza, what's up, baby? How you doing? I don't know. That makes me uncomfortable. Pixaversal Studios. What's the most important and most purposeful thing in your life? My family. Not even close. There isn't even a close second. Well, God and my family. Those 2 things. James Mayer 13. When did you start videography? And did you start out with Sony? I started videography back in like 2012 with a Canon T2i. It's right here on my shelf here. So yeah, finally switched to Sony. Don Gagashi. What would you say is mostly important to capture at a wedding or any special events? The subject. So the reason you're at a wedding is because 2 people are getting married. So you should film those 2 people getting married. And everything that stems from that. An event, you want to capture people enjoying the party, enjoying the event. Tell a story. What happened at the beginning? What's the best part of the event? And how is it being resolved? Thorbjorin.raw. What does it feel like becoming a dad? And what are you looking forward to personally? The feeling is surreal, as I said before. So I love this phase, right? Our child is perfect. But I personally cannot wait for the toddler phase. I cannot wait for like the 4-year-old phase when I can take my daughter on dates every Saturday morning, go get donuts. I go on a walk. I just can't wait for that phase when she has a little bit of personality. We can talk, we can joke, and I can just take her around. I don't know. That's what I'm most excited for. Francis.T12. Will you do another short film? I do want to. I've been saying that for 2 years. I'm dying to. It's a lot of passion. It requires a lot of money, or even just a lot of time. And I want the right crew, and it's expensive, and I just have a lot of excuses. I'm just picking excuses. Alora.pro. What would be your go-to acquisition strategy for intermediates? No idea. Renew 15. ZVE1 versus FX30 for Bcam. I would choose a ZVE1 solely because it's a full frame camera. That's it. That's really the only reason. I would prefer a full frame camera over a crop sensor. Brian Garcia Films. How much sleep are you getting now? Not a ton. More than my wife, but not a ton. Leo Val Blanc. How do you do this your main income? You grind it. You put all your eggs in one basket. No, you grind. You tell yourself it's the only option. You put 100% energy into it. Even if you're working a full-time job, you come home and you put 100% into it. And you make the right connections to get you there quick. And you look for ways so that your money can start working for you. Velvet Vows. How you doing? Hair routine. Oh, gosh. You guys, my hair routine today was wake up, go to Chick-fil-A, and come back and record a podcast. It looks homeless, but also kind of that messy DiCaprio look, right? Right? Please say right. No, I literally just got a shower, dry it, throw some pomade in it, style it, and that's it for the day. Skirt. How to stop hating the edit. I overthink what clips go next in a sequence. 1, get over it now. Tell yourself you have to move on or hire an editor. Those are your 2 options. Tanner Maruji. I am 15 and finished my first short film. Will you give me constructive criticism on it? Where is it? Where is it? Bronze Harbor. Handheld with rig versus gimbal. Which is more versatile? Well, handheld's more versatile, right? Versatility, in my opinion, is just like whatever is the smallest, whatever is the easiest to run and gun with. However, I don't think you should do a versus. I hate this. I hate this question, actually. I just got so heated. There isn't a comparison. All those YouTube videos, like handheld versus gimbal, it's just a bunch of crap. It doesn't matter, right? There's such different looks and different tools. You shouldn't be saying which one. It should be which one for which situation, right? Sometimes the situation calls for it, sometimes it doesn't. We just shot a wedding in Lake Tahoe in California. Super earthy, super vibey, in the trees, in the woods, and we shot that wedding handheld because that's what a wedding called for. That was the vibe. We shoot other weddings on gimbals. It's just knowing when to use each tool. That's what's more impressive to me than picking one. Gifford.video. How do you deal with feeling overwhelmed? I surround myself with people who help me. Teammates, family, a lot of friends who lift that burden of stress. My wife's number one. Every time just hanging out with her, just feel refreshed. My friends are number two. Every time I'm hanging out with them, I just feel like a better person. Just feel uplifted because I laugh till my abs hurt with them. I love my boys. And then my team, just my friends, my people I work with, my colleagues, like those people like inspire me just to keep grinding and to not be overwhelmed. Not to say you won't get overwhelmed though, because I do, and it's perfectly normal. But the most important thing is to get back at it. That's the hard thing. But that's what I focus on. 2 more questions. Brad Crone. Just had my first kid. How do you keep getting work done? I'll let you know. So far, I haven't done a single thing. Erica Sansom. Erica, how you doing? Just celebrated your, almost 2 years, I think? I forget. What would be your favorite lens for vlogging with the Sony ZV-E1? If I was going to be a vlogger, I would probably do the 16-35 or the 24-70. One of those two. You want like a good versatile zoom lens for vlogging. So that was a fun little Q&A with Jake and his occasional deep voice where he gives himself the ick. You guys, that was fun. We'll do this more often. If you want to participate in these Q&As, I'll probably just host them on my Instagram page. So give me a follow if you want. Nate is currently in Lake Como, Italy for 2 weeks, filming with Will Sarmiento. And when he gets back, we'll be back with more episodes. He's been kind of carrying the podcast last few weeks, per my request as I focus on being a dad. But I'm probably going to do a few episodes of these. And then when he comes back, the duo will be back. We'll be back in the kitchen, cooking up things with some more guests. Also desperately trying to get Landon, by the way, on our podcast. So we'll do that. Also, we have like one more spot available for our New York workshop this fall. If you want to come hang out with us in New York, we'll link it below. We would love to have you at our workshop. Whoever wants to be, snag that last ticket. But that is it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, listening, being here, putting up with me, being patient with me. I don't know how much I love this solo vibe, but we move. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.